Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to North Wilkesboro, this time for the NRSL Digital Storm Cup Series for 100 laps of action at North Wilkesboro in the 23rd race of the season, as we're also counting down the races here to the playoffs. And joining me in the booth again is Mr. Vince Freeze.
Yep, we saw in the truck race. Interesting strategy, but this race, we're looking at that old 1 versus 2 stopper. Let's see what happens. And we also got some guys who need to make some things happen too in points. See what goes on.
We'll get to the points in a moment here. First, the starting lineup, Adam Flickinger on the pole for the race tonight. I believe this is his second pole on the season, and looking at the standings, it indeed is. So he'll join several drivers who are at 2 poles on the year, those being Matthew Logan, Jose Mills, and Seth Cole. Oh, and Jonathan Zorlin, too. So 5 drivers now with 2 poles on the year. Rest of your top 10 starting lineup, James Shelley will start second. Row 2, Priya McShane and Andrew Rich, fastest in practice. Row 3, Joshua Sekuli and Seth Cole. Row 4, Alex Gray and Tyler Fink. And in row 5 is Jesse Turner and Quentin Moore. Fastest in happy hour was Alex Ferranti. He starts in 19th place. So let's get to those point standings. Following drivers are in the playoffs right now with their wins. That's Alex Gray, Samet Oskin, 2nd and 3rd in points. Alexander Rowe, 5th. Fitzwater, 6th, with his fresh win last week at Nazareth. Seth Cole, 8th. Fink, 9th. McShane, 10th. Sorlin, 11th. Quentin Moore, 13th. Andrew Rich, 14th. Ace Rogers, 15th. Matthew Logan, 20th. Shelton, 21st, Shelley 22nd, and of course with his 3 wins, the series leading wins, is Jeff Toledo in 25th. Now, Wes McCoy 37th in points with a win outside the top 30, and then Rob Evans and Dylan Young are tied for 30th, with Evans on the tiebreaker has 1 more top 5. Now, if Nate Rogers was not leading the point standings without any wins, Evans would be your 16th guy in the playoffs right now. But Nate Rogers has a 14-point lead over Alex Gray and Samet Oskin. Nate with 10 top 10s on the season, as is Samet Oskin, those two leading the top 10 counts. So Nate trying to maybe get in the playoffs without a win, or at some point in these last 5 races, maybe he'll get that first win of the season. So it's very tight here in the Cup Series compared to the Truck Series. And with that, let's go trackside for the Command Fire engines. As the engines have been fired up, 100 laps, Vince, compared to 80. You mentioned the pit stop window. What do you think we're going to see tonight?
Oh, this is really interesting. We saw the Cole Baker strategy in the truck race work out, but I think the undercut's going to work. It's just, do you take that stretch fuel and go for that lap 50 mark, or do you take the 45 and make it 2 stops? I mean, we'll see. And we also have lap traffic. Can't forget about lap traffic. That played a role in the last race too.
Yes, indeed. So what will we see happen tonight? Here we go. We're about to find out. Adam Flickinger on pole, 2nd time this year. Still looking for that first career cup win, as we are green at North Wilkesboro. And boy, oh boy, unlike the Truck Series race, pole sitter flew right out the gate.
Absolutely took off like a rocket. McShane coming in behind.
Priya McShane, winner back at the Dodge Motordrome.
3 wide back there. Oh, a little contact.
As the top 5, single file. You mentioned some 3 wide. Jeff Toledo in the middle of that.
And they're not going to back out. They're going to keep it 3 wide. 3 wide still back there. It's like Jose Mills back in that scrum.
Ooh, Ferranti came close to hitting Toledo there. Jeff Toledo with 3 wins. As someone appears to have spun up the track there. I saw skid marks.
Check that later.
And it appears to have been the 99 of Alexander Rowe looking at the ticker. But he is still on the racetrack. Jeff Toledo with 3 wins, trying to stay top 30 in the points so he can make the playoffs. Dylan Young, we mentioned. If it wasn't for Nate Rogers leading the point standings, Evans would be the 16th guy in right now. Dylan Young coming in tied with him. And Young trying to get into the top 10, but Nate Rogers right in front of him in 10th place. That's the guy you don't want to see performing well right now, as the better he does, the bigger his points lead will get.
Back at the front, not missing much. Flickinger, McShane, Shelley, top 3.
Kev Shear started 13th, up to the top 10. Rich started 4th as he's struggling to fight off Seth Cole.
Lap time's much faster in this series compared to what we saw in the trucks.
It looks like the top side's a little more strong compared to the trucks too, as Andrew Rich will clear Seth Cole for 7th.
Kev Shear hopping on that board, hopping on the outside. We'll see what he can do as a run on Cole. Yeah, he stays consistent. He might get him in 1-2 if he continues to stay in that back quarter panel. And, ooh, a little loose for Seth. Looks like Kev washed up the hill a little bit, though.
It'll open the door for Nate Rogers to maybe take 9th place, as Rich will try and charge back now on Jesse Turner. Shelley started 2nd, has fallen down to 3rd, as Sekuli running in 4th place on the challenge.
There's the skid marks as we talked about.
And Alex Gray in 5th.
Gray?
Yep, and there's Alexander Rowe, you see, with the back end damage. Now he's been running by himself since he was turned, so he's right back to the back of the field.
Teammate in front.
As Peter Onjak finished 2nd in the truck race last night. Tonight, he's running 2nd to last. And how about Rob Evans? Yeah, go figure. Rob Evans, man, we mentioned him and Dylan Young. And that tiebreaker coming into tonight. Young up near the top 10. Evans back here. There's so much to watch with 18 winners on the season so far. Just so much to keep track of. Falling outside of the top 30, racing other guys who have already won.
Schedule coming up. Oh, 25 almost.
That was Friesen who almost came down across Rob Evans, and that would have been disastrous. And man, I predicted this, but the 2018 and 2019 series champion Johnny Gardner has not gone to victory lane yet this year. He's come close 2 or 3 times.
Most recently at Indy, where he had the best car, but then pit strategy cost him.
But Gardner coming into the race tonight, he is 4th in the points. But without a win, he's not even in contention, really, of making the playoffs unless more drivers start falling out of the top 30. Same can be said for rookie Austin Colano, 7th in the points. And then Tyler Markle, 12th in the points. Nico Tringali, who won 3 races last year, sits 17th in the points this year without a win. As Adam Flickinger has grown his lead out to over 2 seconds over James Shelley.
Shelley got around McShane. Gray's in 4th, and Sekuli 5th, top 5. Turner, nice run, 6th.
And while they're both in the picture, we mentioned it last night, Audi and Subaru leaving the series after this year due to a new body type coming in 2021. So you see one Audi and one Subaru on the screen here. And, you know, just wondering what manufacturer will those teams go to for 2021. As we'll go back to the front of the field, as Ace Rogers will actually lose 41st to Alexander Rowe, and Rowe with back end damage.
But right now in clean air. It looks like the Cup Series really needs that clean air compared to the trucks we saw last night.
And Adam Flickinger leading Shelley, though, now starting to reel him back in 2nd place.
At the line here,
Oh, now it's pretty even now. Shelley winning back all the way. at Bristol Dirt. His name kind of blended in there with Seth Cole's win at Springfield that came right after. 71 in the 72 cars. McShane in third, again winning back at the Motordrome. Alex Gray's won twice this year. So 3 winners trailing Adam Flickinger, looking for his first win of his career and on the season. Sekuli in 5th. Turner 6th. Rich in the 7th. Kev Shears 8th. Seth Cole 9th. And Nate Rogers is 10th. As Ferranti, who started 19th, has made it up to 12th.
8th for 11th under his teammate.
Tyler Markle, we mentioned, coming into tonight, 12th in points. As Quentin Moore diving under Matthew Logan there. That's for 14th. Sebastian Kukulon got his lone career win last year at the Dodge Motordrome. He's running up here in the top 20. As the field is spread out almost over the whole racetrack, could we see lap traffic earlier in the Cup race than we did in the truck race? As Ferranti has made it up to 11th. And now Rich
back there, yeah.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
We know Rodgers and Rowe are about half the track length off. We last looked around 10 seconds, so it could happen soon, yeah.
And Shelley has cut the lead down to 1.1 seconds. As Shearer is trying to pass Rich to the top side after they caught Turner and Sekuli. So who's fast out here coming from outside the top 10? These guys up here just seem to be riding, except for James Shelley, and now the lead's back to 1.3 seconds. So Adam Flickinger and James Shelley kind of ebbing and flowing, as you like to say, Vince.
Yes, the old ebb and flow is looks like Flickinger had a pretty much consistent lap with Shelley that time. Nothing too lost or gained. And pretty McShane, Gray. They might be. We saw the truck race, right? There's a calm period in the race. They're just saving their tires and maybe looking for that stretch as we're almost halfway through the field runner. We're just about.
And looking at the fast lap times, Rich top of the board. Alexander Rowe, man, I guess wrecking and getting in some 3-second gap back from 40th helped them put down a pretty good flyer there because he's second on the board. Gray third, the race leader, Adam Flickinger 4th, Shelley 5th. Then Markle, Turner, Nate Rogers, Seth Cole, McShane, all guys in the top 10. So not really able to really see who's fast and who's not. But Alexander Rowe, I mean, kind of proving it. He's racing his way back through the field now into, at the line there, 37th. So the team will likely repair that back end damage. But Rowe with a fast car nonetheless. As tough break for Jose Mills last week. Led most of the race. Lap traffic ended up playing a factor. Fitzwater got by him, got the win, and now he's running back here at the back of the pack.
And Peter Onjak as well. Last night's truck race did not learn anything, it looks like.
Logan York, though, I mean, Logan York has struggled in Cup this year as well. 2019 Truck Series champion, was probably expecting a lot more. Season started off great, but it has just not been very well for him since the beginning of the year. Alex Gray.
Gray getting a little loose there on that exit.
So Alex Gray starting to challenge McShane for third. Kev Shear has made it by Sekuli for 6th, and he's on the back bumper of Jesse Turner.
That top 5, he's going to send it in there.
Oh, man, Kev Shear must have a great race car under him tonight.
Sends it in there, and he's going to try to go underneath here, but Turner's got that outside run.
Yeah, can he make the bottom work? That's the big question. Shearer and teammate Ferranti with very fast cars. Markle's up here in the top 15 as well. Meanwhile, Sorlin, not so much. He's down there outside the top 30. As we're going to be closing in on pit stops maybe in about 10 to 12 laps. So Kev Shearer, could he have the car to beat? Ultimately, though, I think pit strategy is going to really decide who does well in this race.
Well, back there remarkable. But yeah, I think it's going to be a strategy racer. I just think I am lap tracking, but I think it's just these guys are in the calm point of the race. Do I take those tires? We saw Baker; he ran pretty consistent when he took that undercut, but the overcut could work in the Cup Series because you got a nice 2 second gap. 1 lap extra won't hurt, I don't think. And gotta watch that pit lane too. We saw Greg Torres as well get into some trouble last night. So.
Yeah, and that's the like side effect of pitting early is you're coming out with people still coming in. So that could be a danger part of pitting early, and it's just right now we just don't know. Can they make it on one pit stop? That's the big question mark right now. Is looking at the top right, the fall off has almost reached the second, but not a lot of fall off. So you undercut, it's going to help you a little bit, but not a lot. But if you can stretch it on the first stop, and everyone still has to pit a second time, you could save time there on the second stop by taking less fuel.
The top two have ran away from McShane. 4 second gap.
And Shelley seems to just continue ebbing and flowing from Adam Flickinger.
Yeah, just an ebb and flow. I think these guys have pretty much similar setups as Gray and McShane, same way. They're ebbing and flowing off each other, and these three right here.
Shearer got by Sekuli. He has not been able to get by Turner. And Rich is just chilling in 8th. Ferranti 11th. Young 12th. Moore 13th. Ryan Brommer with a good run, 14th.
Marco behind.
Kukulon, Logan, Jeff Toledo. Tyler Fink and William Flickinger fighting with Austin Colano there for 20th. Rumors state that William Flickinger could be retiring after this year in all forms of racing. So we'll have to see how that if that pans out or not.
Retirement tour to wrap up your career.
William, in only his second season of the Digital Storm Cup Series, came close to winning last year at Cape Cod, but Seth Cole passed him on the last lap. Haven't really seen William in a winning position since. As Alex Gray is going to get by McShane for 3rd. And now the real question there is, does he pull away from Priya? As we're on lap 42. Kind of just a waiting game now, Vince.
Well, waiting game for the lap cars and Mills, or a waiting game to come in early. That's the key. I don't know. Who's going to stretch it? You know those lap cars are going to hurt your air.
Bit of a gap there at the back of the field for Ace, Onjack, York, and Mills. Behind Keith Rich. But the field's so spread out tonight at a short track.
Man. Humbling sport. Jose Mills came so close last week, and this week he's just running through it last.
Lap 44 now. Could they actually be trying to stretch it to lap 50? That's a really big question now as fall off is over a second. If they make it to lap 50, it's going to probably going to go towards the undercut.
Does someone dare risk 2 stops?
I don't know if you can. I'd say lap
time difference wouldn't work. Yeah, time difference wouldn't work. You gotta go like lap 51, 52 to be assured safe.
I feel like if you were gonna go on a 2-stop, lap 45 would have been the last lap to do it on, because then you would have come down again at lap 90, take rights only or no tires and fuel. It looks like it's gonna be a 1-stop, Vince.
There you go.
Question is though, will they make it to lap 50 or will it come a little earlier?
Somebody try to go to lap 60 and go 2. That'd be gutsy, but it could happen.
It's still staying out. Shelley is continuing to slowly inch back. Alex Gray has begun closing in from 3rd.
Pretty McShane fell off the cliff. Nowhere to be found.
Kev Shears made it up to 5th. He got by Jesse Turner when we weren't looking. And Gray is continuing to slowly close in, I believe. So we're lap 48. And still no signs of anyone pitting.
The cooler track temperatures, it's a little bit clearer. I guess they can stretch a little more as gap's starting to open up to the Flickinger and Shelley. It was 1.2 now, it's 1.5.
Yep, and the trucks are known to use more fuel. So it looks like they're going to make this thing a one-stop for sure. Now it's just going to be a question of, do you pit right at lap 50 here?
Do you beat those lap cars? That's the key. You don't want to mess with those guys. Let's see.
If Adam comes in pit road right behind lap traffic, that could be bad. Shelley is closing in a little bit there.
I like where Shelley's at. You got that distance.
Kev Shearer, man, is really roaring up to the back of Priya McShane.
I'll tell you what, if Kev Shearer has a nice pit stop and can get like a second place out of this on the next run, he might have a shot at the win. This car looks like it's dialed in the best I've seen all night.
Lap 51, still no signs of pit road.
Nah, this is just, they're stretching it to like 55, maybe 60 even.
I mean, if anyone back in the field were to undercut right now, I think it'd work out pretty well.
From somebody like Jose Mills, I mean, what you got to lose, on Jack. Kev Shearer's coming.
And Ferranti's going to be the first one to come down pit road.
Good move. Good move on Ferranti's part. Got clear track ahead of you. Pit road's nice.
Samet Oskin's coming in. Here we go. Oskin, Zach Rogers, Williams, Ace, Mills, and there's Adam Flickinger. Shelley stays out. Gray stays out. McShane and Shearer will come down. Turner will stay out. Rich, Seth Cole.
Gotta watch the exit. Let's see how Flickinger does on his suit. Got held up by Mills slightly.
Shelley will continue to remain on the track. Gray will come down. And here's the danger zone. Here's the danger, Vince. You're coming down when people are still staying out, or coming out, I should say.
Everyone's just peeling off.
This looks like the big group right here.
Shelley's
going to come in behind everybody. There's Ferranti coming out of pit road. Dylan Young has remained on the track. He'll pit. Kukulon. So Oskin and maybe Ferranti were the big ones to pit first. There's Flickinger in front of Mills. And there's Ferranti. Look at how many spots he gained from undercutting.
He might be in a podium position here. Fitzwater.
There's Oskin. Look at Oskin gained so much track position.
Oskin right up. I guess those fresh tires. Just a couple laps can make a difference, I'm telling you.
It is only a second fall off, but like when you stay out 3-4 laps on a short track like this is a huge 1 second gain.
Everyone's minding their P's and Q's for the most part. Shelley and Flickinger's the battle. Let's see.
And there's James Shelley.
Look way up there.
And I believe he's going to hold on to second over Alex Gray. So Adam back to the lead. Now Shelley stayed out, I want to say 2 or 3 laps more, and he only lost about a second and a half.
He might gain that up in the long run, but Gray is coming. He's all over him.
Alex Gray right on the bumper of Shelley. That's for second. Ferranti undercut himself from 12th to 4th.
Sakuli beat Kev Shearer.
McShane 5th. Sakuli 6th. Shearer 7th. Turner 8th. Rich is still 9th, and Nate Rogers in 10th. Seth Cole falls to 12th. And I don't know if anyone else that was in the top 10 fell. Doesn't look to be the case. Alexander Rowe, I guess, did not fix the damage because he is shown in 30th. Let's take a look.
He needs that. Car was fast. He ran one of the fastest laps.
Yeah, they did not repair the damage, so Alexander Rowe battling for 30th with Tyler Fink.
What could have been for Rowe if he hadn't gotten that accident? That car was quick with damage. It's crazy.
And then Zorlin is the first one a lap down. And much like we saw in the truck race, could lap traffic play a role?
Flickinger's got an incredible buffer here. Those guys at the back got to Really hustle.
A 3.6-second lead now over James Shelley, man. That lead has only been gaining as Gray is fighting for second place.
I think Gray has the faster car right now, and tires aren't at the temper. They're getting close to optimal temperature. So he made some time up now.
And I think maybe Shelley and Gray fell back that full second from battling side by side. But Adam Flickinger
get by this mess.
Adam Flickinger's in the heart of lap traffic as he's trying to put Carter Friesen a lap down. He'll do just that.
Just kind of stuck there. But with an incredible buffer of at least 6, 7 cars, 9 cars, I mean, he's looking good.
And Shelley and Gray will likely catch this pack. It's just a matter of them getting through all of these lap cars. The only lap car behind them is Casey Nanico.
Ferrani's catching these guys too.
Man, I think undercutting was such a great move for this race because Ferranti jumped from 12th all the way up to 4th. And if he was still 12th, he'd be another 5 seconds back. And I just don't think anyone's going to gain 5 seconds on him over this run. 35 to go this time at the line.
Probably would have been a second if he had came in right at lap 50. I mean, that's how much it was worth, those fresh tires and those in and out laps. Oh, Nanico. A little contact almost with Gray.
And now here's the whole lap traffic having those 1 to 2 lap fresher tires than you. Nanico's trying to get by Gray on the top side of the track.
It's just going to help Ferranti.
It's putting
Shelley's
a gap.
catching those guys. Go ahead.
It's putting a gap between Shelley and Gray. As Adam Flickinger, so far with no issues with the lap traffic, he's been putting them in the dust. So let's look at the fast lap time. Goes to Casey Nanico, though. A 19.512. Matthew Logan, Wes McCoy, Austin Colano, Ferranti. All those guys who had enough space to really push it on their fresh tires. As Adam Flickinger sits 7th on the board. So he's way up there. So we're not going to focus on him. Shelley has cleared away from Gray a little bit. So now Gray and Ferranti fighting it out for 3rd with McShane in the distance in 5th. Cooley 6th, Shearer in 7th. And Nate Rogers, man, up to 8th place. Trying to keep that points lead. Gray's in the top 5. Gray might gain enough points to take the points lead back. I'm looking to do the math here. Nate would get 36 points from 8th place. And Gray would get 46. So that would put Nate at a 4-point lead over Gray as they run. So Matt Oskin came in 14 back 2. He is running 18th. So he would lose 11 points due to the 2-point gap from 10th to 11th. So he would fall to 25 behind as they run.
First time this run, Shelley has peaked under 3 seconds in this gap. Maybe he's chiming in a little bit.
Interesting to note that the next guy's up on points. Gardner is a full 53 points behind Oskin coming in. Alexander Rowe another 12 behind Gardner. With Fitzwater 6 points behind Rowe and Colano a point behind Fitzy. And then another 14-point jump to Seth Cole, who is 100 points behind Nate coming into this race. So right now, that 5 playoff bonus points for being the points leader at the end of the regular season, it's solely down to the 83, 33, and the 22 right now. As Gardner runs in 25th, Rowe 30th, and Colano is 21st. That lead's staying the same, Vince.
Yeah, I think this is there's nothing you can do. I think Shelley, if I'm not mistaken, is getting held up by Latcher. He's got past a couple, but he's still got a long way to go. That's the problem.
Cole Deaver's the first one, and now Jose Mills is up next.
Problem is Nana goes faster. That's
Hold
beautiful.
on. Hold on. Adam Flickinger. Sorlin passed him back.
Now he's getting caught by Evans.
Sorlin got his lap back. Evans was never lapped. He caught Evans, and now it looks like Evans is holding him off. But Logan York, Charles Sanford, LJ Toledo, they're right back here on Adam's bumper.
I wonder what the gap would be here. Let me see.
There's a big gap back to Friesen, Onjak, and Mills, who are the next 3 cars between Shelley and Adam. It's 3 seconds.
Yeah, Shelley needs to get by these guys quick, though. I just don't know.
Man, how about Ferranti, though? Ferranti pit a few laps ahead of Gray, and he just passed him for 3rd place.
Shane, Sakuli, that's a big pack right there. That's the battle for the podium.
And this is not boding well for Alex Gray in terms of the regular season points battle. He just lost 3rd to Ferranti. That cost him 3 points, and if he loses 4th to McShane, it'll be another 3 points.
This is cool. He could be in trouble. Shears coming. Here comes Rogers, the points leader.
That'll plop Gray now down to only 10 points behind the 83. And if he loses any more positions, he'll start losing points instead of gaining points. Yeah, you're right. Nate Rogers is coming out of nowhere, too. He's on the bumper of Kev Shearer for 7th.
Kev Shearer you don't have the adjustments right. That first run, he had it better.
Now, after Nazareth, Nate Rogers and Oskin were the first guys to hit 10 top 10s. And Nate could be looking to get top 10 number 11 here today. Next driver up with 9 top 10s is Alexander Rowe.
Someone's on pit road. It's Flickinger.
William Flickinger on pit road. Is that a damage stop? It appears to be unscheduled. I don't see anybody else on the pit road.
Yeah, this is only a one-stop race. It's unscheduled for the most part. Unless we know something that, they don't know.
I think it's unscheduled. I don't see anyone else on pit road. I don't know if something broke and they're just taking 4 tires while they're at it.
4-second gap almost between Flickinger and Shelley.
Yeah, you're right. I just saw that. And Adam Flickinger is pulling the lead back out. And Shelley I'm surprised. Shelley with these fresher tires has not done more with them.
This race was all about the air. I think the clean air just...
Yeah, now it's a 4-second lead.
Yeah, it's 4 seconds.
And Adam's in traffic, too. Adam's right on the bumper of Evans.
I think he's smart. Just don't pass anybody and stay right there. I think that's a smart play.
Now, what would this do if Adam wins this race? Adam comes into the race tonight 28th in the point standings. The next driver up with a win is James Shelley, and that points gap coming in. James Shelley came in with 490 points, Adam with 467, so that's a 23-point gap. And Adam would gain 6 points because he's led the most laps. And Shelley led a lap. So he would gain 6.
They're running 1, 2. Yeah.
He would gain 6 points on Shelley. However, Shelton is the next driver up, only 2 points ahead of Shelley. Logan, 3 points ahead of Shelley. And then it jumps up to Ace, who's at 518 points. So Shelton runs in 23rd, and that would be far enough back for, I think, Adam to pass her in the points.
I think while you were talking, Nanico got around Shelley, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you were right. I can see him back there in the distance. Ferranti's still 3rd. McShane 4th, Sakuli 5th. Nate has made it up to 6th.
Gray falling back.
Gray's down to 7th. So now Gray, just like Oskin, losing points to the points leader. Shearer 8th, Turner 9th. What a night for Turner. And Andrew Rich in 10th. Jesse Turner coming into the race tonight, 27th in the points. Looking for what would be his 7th top 10 on the season, man. Which is crazy because down there, not a lot of guys have that many top 10s and they're that low in the standings. Turner has really turned his season around. Early on, Turner was finishing at the back of the field almost every race. And now he's really turned it around. 10 laps to go. 3.7 second lead for Adam Flickinger. Unless things really start to go downward for Adam's tires, he's got this in the bag.
Easy like Sunday morning drive here for Flickinger. Shelley just got nothing.
Shelley's inching closer again. It's down to 3.68 seconds, but man, how about Ferranti? Pit first, and he is held on to third.
Shea might have a run here, though. A little bit.
And third to eighth is in one big line here, so Turner, 9th. Rich on the bumper in 10th, and Matthew Logan running in 11th. It's another one of the one-race winner guys we've mentioned. He won back at Martinsville earlier this year, so a good show for him at another short track. As there's McShane getting put to the outside by Sakuli. That's for 4th place. Could Nate Rogers get what would be his 8th top 5? He's right on the bumper of Sakuli for position.
Sakuli's got that run, too. I think he's going to have a lot of help behind as long as they stay in line.
As soon as the lead was closing, it got extended once again. It's back to 3.9 seconds.
Yeah, I think that's James Shelley just saying I'm going to be content with second at this point.
A Flickinger has not won a Digital Storm Cup Series race since Zach Flickinger won in the 78 back at Dover in 2018. William came close last year at Cape Cod, but hasn't been near a win or an opportunity at a win since. And now here tonight, Adam gets his second pole of the season and has flat out dominated. Sakuli up to 4th, and Nate Rogers looking for 5th, as Matthew Logan has made it up to 9th out of nowhere. And they're right there on the bumper of these guys.
Cut out of a can. That's going to hurt Turner for his 10 top 10. Sakuli's around.
Ferranti is over a second ahead in 3rd. The undercut really worked out for Alex Ferranti tonight, as Rich will pass Turner for 10th. That'll put Turner outside the top 10. So the 7th top 10 not going to come tonight for the rookie of Roush Fenway Racing. As we're at 2 to go, Nate will clear into 5th, and he'll look to extend the points lead. Gray's going to try and challenge back for 6th. Shelley's got it down to 3.5 seconds, but it's a little too late as some cars are unlapping themselves.
What can we say? As Flickinger goes down the back, it's been dominant all night. Into 3 and 4.
Final time through 3 and 4. Another first-time winner this season. It's Adam Flickinger in the 78 for Zach Flickinger Racing. First win for Flickinger since 2018. And it's in the 78 machine once again. Zach won in the 78 Toyota at Dover in 2018, as previously mentioned a few laps ago. And now Adam, rookie driver. He's in his 2nd year of Truck Series competition, and he won twice last year in his rookie campaign. So Adam could be the future of this organization. But what a drive by the 78, Vince.
Yeah, dominant all night. Shelley tried, but no one else had nothing for him on that second run.
Shelley got it back down to 3.2 there right at the end. Ferranti, 3rd undercut man. He was 12th before stops, ended up getting a 3rd here. Great run for him. Sakuli 4th. Nate Rogers, points leader. He'll get 5th. That's his 8th top 5 and 11th top 10 on the year. He leads both of those categories. Gray 6th. He'll lose only 2 points to Nate on the night. McShane 7th. Logan 8th. Late charge there for the 38 car. Kev Shearer 9th. And Andrew Rich will round out the top 10. We mentioned the tiebreaker coming in tonight between Young and Evans. Young will get 13th, as Evans fell and finished 32nd. Looking at the rest of your winners on the year, Jeff Toledo, 15th place, good run for him. Seth Cole, 17th, Oskin, 18th. Wes McCoy, 19th. That might help him a little bit, trying to inch back to the top 30. Fitzwater won last week at Nazareth. He gets 21st tonight. Quinton Moore, 22nd. Shelton, 23rd. Ace Rogers, 26th. Two-time champ Gardner, who hasn't won yet this year, will get 27th. Three-race winner from last year, Tringali, 28th. Sorlin, 29th. Rowe, 30th. Tyler Fink, 36th. And then, of course, unscheduled stop for William Flickinger will get last. Mills, 41st after finishing second a week ago. And Cole Deaver, a driver who's won multiple races, or has won races in both of his first two seasons. It's his third season this year, and he hasn't won yet. He's also made the Final Four in both of his seasons. The competition could this year be the year he doesn't get there. Well, Vince, that's it for the weekend here at North Wilkesboro. What'd you think?
Yeah, it was interesting. It was very green flag. Obviously, it was green flag. It was very clean oriented. We only had one incident with Rowe, and domination by Flickinger. And it's funny, Flickinger bookends the field. That's a little irony right there. Is the points battle heats up between Rogers and Gray, and we'll see you next week.
That'll do it for us tonight. Next week, Darlington. Oh, man, oh, man. Better get ready to face the Lady in Black. So we'll see you guys for both series at Darlington. 4 races remain until we set the playoff grids in each series. And I will see you guys next week.